What's going on? It's your boy Savage Woods, and welcome to my channel where I talk about how to make money online without showing your face or with showing your face, because all of this is applicable to building a business online and maintain a relationship with your customer base. That's really, really important. All right. Now, the state of the economy is trash. I can talk about this because I have been laid off so many times. It is unbelievable. And I will actually link you to a video on my main channel about that because getting laid off 6 times is crazy. And I went into full detail on that channel about that. So I will make sure to put that in the description below. But yeah, so the economy sucks. I'm pretty sure you're experiencing it in some kind of way. I got laid off 6 times. So I'll give you like the brief overview of that. Got into the technology industry, very volatile. Lots of contracts, but contracts are not the reason I got laid off, because I also got laid off from full-time jobs. I just got laid off from a full-time job like 3 weeks ago. All right. At the time of filming this video. So shit's annoying. But as you can see, everything is getting more and more expensive, and it's just getting tougher. Like, you might make good money, but shit is just not going as far. It's getting really hard, right? So what is the remedy to that situation? Well, it's a mindset thing. So we're going to talk mindset today. I can talk for myself. I've always been motivated, positive, and always pushed through. But there have been many times where I've said very negative things about myself. And when I look at where I was at in life, when I said those things, yeah, makes sense why I was at that point in my life. Things like I'm broke and oh my god, I'm so stressed out. And don't get me wrong, things like emotions like stress and anxiety are real. They are real experiences. So I'm not here to down anybody that is experiencing those things or has experienced those things, because I've experienced those things. Sad is real, happy is real, mad is real. All of these things are emotions, and they're all very real. However, I didn't even, and I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even read the whole book. I read like maybe 14 pages of this book, and I realized I didn't need to read the rest of the book because um I got the message. And the message was, don't believe what you think. It's the name of it's the title of the book. Forget the author, but don't believe everything you think. There you go. And it explained how you could be sitting in a room with somebody, right? And it's crazy because when I read this, I started thinking about life like this, and it started making me like handle situations like disappointments, losses, and wins also better. Um, because you don't want to get too high in the highs or too low in the lows. But yeah, it was like you and somebody else could be sitting in the same room or doing the same job, rather, right? Or watching the same TV show. Yeah, sit in the same room, watching the same TV show, and they're laughing, having a good time, and you're watching the same TV show, and it's also very entertaining to you, but you had a really shitty week at work. Not a day, you had a shitty week. 4 out of the 5 days in a row at work sucked. Monday was cool, surprisingly, and then Tuesday through Friday just whoop that ass, and you sit on the couch with your partner, or husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and they're laughing, they're laughing, and they're having a great time, and you find this entertaining, but you still got that work shit going on in your head. And your whole day is bad. Your whole week is bad because every day at work had bad moments. Now, don't believe everything you think. Yeah, you didn't have the most pleasant week at work, but let's reframe it. Did you have a bad day every day? Was it at work? Was it a bad day? Or was it just a bunch of bad moments? Because every moment of every day can't be good or bad. There's a balance, right? So don't believe everything you think. So first, you have to reframe how you think about shit. If you don't reframe how you think about shit, you'll never be able to make it through a crazy ass fucking economy like this, where they're just laying people off, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I know you clicked on this, so I know you know what's up. And you're not one of those people that's on the internet, making these crazy excuses as to why a McDonald's worker shouldn't be able to afford rent because it's a beginner job. And you're telling me somebody who works a full-time job shouldn't be allowed to afford to live. That's what kind of fucking bullshit ass take is. Okay, sorry, I'm tripping. But the point that I'm making here is we live in a crazy time, and the economy is crazy. And so, in order to deal with that and become the success that you want to be, you have to harness uh, a different way of thinking. So first off, don't believe everything you think. You're not depressed all day and night. You're actually depressed because you're sitting there thinking about being depressed. See, whatever your dominant frequency is, that's what's going to dominate your life. I was at the last job that laid me off. I didn't even care if they laid me off, man. I was ready to quit anyway. So I noticed that my dominant frequency was stress and anxiety due to that job. It sucked, right? And um, I mean, I'll say it. I realized one day on the phone with a mentor of mine that everything in life was actually going pretty good except the job and like the finances. And I'm like, well, I'm only at the job for finances. So if those aren't going good, then why am I here? Right? Light bulb. So saying all that to say, it took a while for me to train my brain to turn that switch to even when things are going bad, don't get too low in that. And it started a couple years ago with something really small, man. Like I used to work out at this place called Barry's. I was doing better financially, so I would do stuff like have workout classes, right? And I went to Barry's, and they have treadmills and stuff. And when you run the treadmills, there's a bunch of mirrors, a wall full of mirrors, and so you just see yourself. And I started to positively speak to myself, tell myself I was a king, tell myself that I was worthy, tell myself that I would push through that workout no matter what. Tell myself that, hey, I may be getting tired, but I can keep pushing. That's okay. We're gonna, push, push, push. Don't do too much. Just see how far you can go. And man, that started working wonders for my psyche, man. Being under that type of stress, sprinting and trying to keep my breath, and I'm asthmatic too, right? It's just a lot. And so being able to channel my brain to speak positively in a moment like that, it reminded me of football, and I had to think while tired, make decisions while dog tired is a hard thing to do. So it's been building a muscle, been laid off 6 times in corporate America. So it's built a muscle that, like, hey, man, shit happens. Next, you kind of just got to keep pushing, and not on some toxic positivity. Everything gonna be all right, because everything ain't gonna always be all right. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be the first one to tell you it's not gonna always be all right. But there's a mindset shift that you have to have if you want to be successful, especially in this bad economy. Okay, it's something that takes a while to train. You have to understand that life is like the stock market, bro. It's just going to do this. So when you're here, enjoy, but hey, keep your eyes open, stay focused. Don't get too high in the highs. Don't get out there doing too many drugs. Don't get out there partying too hard. Like, enjoy life, but don't neglect responsibilities because you in a winning state and now you want to ease up. Keep your foot on the gas pedal. Yeah, take the vacation. Do the extra date night. Do hang out with your boys or your girls. But hey, don't I got too high in the highs before and too low in the lows simultaneously. I had high income a couple years ago, extremely high income, and my life was in shambles. And I was in the middle, floating around, faded all the time. And it was just not cool, bro. Right? So I'm speaking from experience. Don't get too high or too low in any of it. Just enjoy the highs and stomach the lows. That's basically what it's like. This literally like the stock market, man. So, um, now once you've developed this mindset, though, right? The stoic mindset that you're not gonna submit to your emotions, that you're gonna work out however many times a week you said you were gonna work out, no matter how you feel that day. When you said you were gonna schedule all of your threads posts, for the whole week, did you sit down and take however long it takes to do that? Like, did you actually do it, or did you just bullshit and do some other shit? Right. And this is just the real thing. And so that's the mindset that's going to take to survive in this economy. To build the business that you're looking to build, to build the page you're looking to build, you have to seriously consider that every moment is an opportunity or a lesson. Sometimes it's just a lesson. But even the worst things aren't the end of the world. It's just the end of something else. You know? Just the end of that thing or that version of that thing, that circumstance, right? Whatever it may be. So this video is about keeping up with the economy, but not in the way of necessarily the money making part. It's the person you have to become to make the money. You have to be positive and you have to believe. You can't be stuck in the brainwashing of America's 9 to 5 system. And so that's the other thing about this economy, right? Everybody was told to get degrees, get degrees. I got a bachelor's degree, bro, and I got a liberal. Oh, sorry, I have an associate's in liberal arts, and I have a bachelor's in business, right? Bachelor of science in business administration. So the point is, they told us to do that shit, go get good jobs, and then all the good jobs that paid well that we got turned upside down on us and just start laying us off, and that's wild, bro. You know, like worked 10 years just to be. It's just weird, and I'm only bringing it up not to focus on the past, but to highlight and illustrate why it's really important to build that stoic mindset, go through these ups and downs, and push through and build that thing that makes you happy, proud, passionate. You know, it makes you money. Like if that's what the goal is, right? Which is a lot of the time the goal, right? So, you know, um, if you want to make it through this crazy economy, through this crazy inflation, and build something that lasts, you know, some kind of business, some kind of brand, some kind of something, then you're gonna have to get ready to get gut punched every single day. Every single day, you start from zero. I remember when I played football, they would say, "Hey, you know, it's halftime, score is 0-0." It doesn't matter what we did in the first half. We could have been up 50-7. We could have been up 49-7, and they would have been like, "All right, the score is 0-0." And we could be down 49-7, and we say, "Hey, the score is 0-0." Because that's how you have to think. That's the mentality. Like, especially when you have to go get your own money, when you have to literally go and hunt, which is what we're designed to do anyway. So that's exactly why, you know, I get in front of in front of a camera and put it on YouTube, because I'm hunting. This is me hunting, right? And that's the other thing, right? America told us to go get these jobs. We don't need to trade time for money all the damn time. You know what I mean? Or ever, really. You know, it just depends on what stage of business you at. You know, you may have a business that's starting to thrive, but you still got a job and you still kind of need both. That's a thing that exists. You know, that exists. There's people with six-figure businesses who go back to jobs so they can pay off debt. Like, you got to be strategic about life, your life, because it's your life. You live it. You make the decisions in it, right? You project manage your life. So at the end of the day, whatever's the best decision for you, you do that. But the point that I'm making here is, um, there's uh, there's a lot to be accomplished in this world, and it doesn't require trading time for money. If you think about everything that we consume, it's all been created by somebody. There's somebody out there that created a thing one time, pushed it to the fucking moon marketing wise, and now they are eating, their family eats off of it. You know what I mean? Like, for generations. So it can happen to you too. But hey, you know, um, in order to do that, you really got to become a different type of person, not the person you are now. If you were that person now, you wouldn't be watching this video. And I'm just being honest with you. So, in anything you do, oh, and here's another one. Hey, how you do anything is how you'll do everything. Remember that. And that's a very fucking true. That one's really true. But yeah, man, I just want to see everybody win. I'm definitely ready to win. Like, win. You know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but yeah, if you want to survive this economy, you got to become a very stoic individual. You got to set out on a plan. You got to relentlessly attack that plan. You got to have the late nights, and you got to have the early mornings, and you got to just do what you got to do. Now, get your rest, but I'm saying you may have to make some sacrifices in, you know, terms of maybe it's sleep or maybe it's time with people or whatever the case is. Probably all of that, honestly. That's usually what it is. But when you putting in the work and you getting stuff done, then it's like, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. So don't let this economy rock you. Become the greatest version of yourself, and always believe that you can create money out of thin air, because you really can. You don't have to trade time for money. And if you do trade time for money, you can still create money out of thin air. And that's a deadly combination as well. And I'm an advocate for that too. So, hey, I appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And let's get this money online, fam.